Right. Live coding. Second problem of the first tutorial. We're going to do that now. And it's called rotate. So let's read the problem description and then do the problem. Write a program, rotate.java, that takes one command line parameter, the name of an image file. Your program must rotate the image by 90 degrees, either clockwise or anti-clockwise, doesn't matter, and display the rotated image. Use the picture class to do this. Aha, that's part of standard lib. Just as we did in class. Can't even remember that. Remember that the image is not necessarily square, very important. So we can't assume that it's got the same size horizontally and vertically. For example, if hero.jpg contains this file, this lovely man, and your program is called as java rotate hero.jpg, it must display this. And then at the end it says, test your program with other image files such as gaga.jpg, and I'll just download that. Okay, so I've got it, right. So, firstly, this is not rotation. I mean, if Mr. Bieber's face was rotated by 90 degrees anti-clockwise, this fringe would be on top. But it's actually at the bottom, so it's been rotated and flipped vertically. And that's a bit of an issue, but that is okay. So it's been flipped around this diagonal line here. So let's see what happens. So I'm going to experiment. I can't remember how I did it in the original, but we'll figure it out. Okay, rotate.java, that's important, and the picture class. Let's start by doing that. So this is still password. Just close that. This is my Tut1 project. I created a package called password for the first problem, but I'm going to create another package called rotate for my second program. New Java class, rotate. Okay, and I'll need a main. There we go. I want to use picture class, but I haven't imported the library, standard lib, and in fact I didn't use it for the first program either, so I need to add it. Build path, configure build path, libraries, class path, add jar, and I put it in here. Good, so now I've got access to it, so to speak. So what do I want to do? I want to create a new picture. I'll just call it peak. And it's complaining about picture, and if I hover over it, come on, hover. It doesn't want to hover. I'll just delete the E and press Control space, and it just found it immediately. There was no other picture I could import. Sometimes I have an option and it will give me a list. Okay, pick is a new picture, and if I remember correctly, there is a string argument we can pass, and the file name is args0. That's what we get from the command line. Right, that's picture. Now I want to rotate it. I don't want to modify the original. I want to create a new picture, so I'm going to get a picture. I'll just call it rot for rotated. And it's a new picture. And what constructor am I going to use? Not a file, not another picture, not a string. I want to specify the width and the height. Look, there's no file name for the new picture. I'm just going to show it. I can use the existing picture to create a new picture, and it'll be a copy, but the new picture mustn't have the same width and height as the original. The width and height must be switched. So if it's a non-square picture, I'm going to run into trouble if I try to use the second constructor. So it's this last one I want. But how wide and how high should it be? I'm going to get the width and the height of the original picture. Pic.width, pic.height, and oh, the new one should be H wide and W high. Oh, things are going crazy. Okay, right, so that's right. Okay, so I've got the original picture, I've got the rotated version that's got a different height and width, and now I need to fill in the rotated picture. So do the rotation, and at the end I want to show, yes, that's what it's called, the rotated picture, and that's all this program will do. It doesn't save it to a file or do anything else with it. So how do I rotate? Well, I've got to take each pixel of the original and put it in the right place in the rotated version. So I'm going to write 2 for loops that are going to go over all the pixels of the original. Let's go row by row. So y starts at 0. Well, y is less than the height of the original, y plus plus. That'll go from 0 up to h minus 1. And in each of those rows, inside the for loop, I write for int x equals 0, x less than the width, x plus plus. And I can get the pixel value, let's call it c, is the original dot get, yes, xy. Okay, oh, color is unknown. Can I hover? Come on, import color, yes, that's what I want to do. And now I want to put this pixel somewhere in the rotated picture. So rotate dot, is it put? Set. Yes, set. Something C. And the question is, what should something and something be? Well, I can't put X here because the original picture may be 200 pixels wide, but only 50 pixels high. So X will go up to 199. But the new rotated picture is only 50 wide, so because it's been rotated. So when I get to 50, I'm going to run out of pixels in the rotated version. It's not as wide as the original is high. Well, it's not as high as the original is wide. So it's not as wide as the original is wide. That's the real thing I want to say. So it would be a mistake to put X and Y here. I'm going to run into problems with transposing the pixels. But what I can do is put X here and Y here. This makes a lot of sense to me because the height of the original goes from 0 to h. The width of the new one goes from 0 to h, because that's the new width. So I'm just swapping X and Y, and I think this will do something. Let's just see what it does. I'm going to run this once. Java's going to complain because there's no command line parameter, but I'm going to go to run configurations. For rotate, the arguments will be $string prompt price. Apply and run it. I'm going to say hero.jpg, and it's going to complain again, and this time because could not open file. Okay, but that's because I haven't imported that picture yet. So I'm going to drag and drop the picture into my project. I've got to be very careful. I don't want to put inside package rotate, obviously not package password, not even the source folder. I want to put it in the root of the project. So I'm going to drag it over to Tut1. So drag my picture over to Tut1. Should it just be linked or copied? I'll always copy. There we go. So now hero.jpg sits here and my programs can see this. At least I hope they can. Okay, it looks like it's running, it's working. And that's exactly what we got in the Tut. Okay, right. So that's pretty accurate. If I wanted to, I could save it now, but that's not what I want to do. So we've basically done, except that I think I want to fix it. Here it's flipped as my program does at the moment, but I really want to flip it vertically because that would be real 90-degree rotation. So the second coordinate, the y coordinate, when I set a pixel, should be subtracted from its height. So that if a 0 pixel is down here, it should be height minus 0. If this is pixel 10, it should be height minus 10. And the pixel up here, close to h, the height, should be down here. But there's one caveat, and that is that the height of my rotated picture is w, which used to be the original width. So I should really be saying w minus x. And if x is 0, this will be w, but the pixels only go from 0 to w minus 1. So I should really be subtracting 1 here. Let's just check. If x is 0, then this expression is w minus 1. That's the highest pixel. And if x is its last value, goes up to, but not including w, so it will be x, w minus 1 will be the highest value for x. W minus 1 is 1, minus 1 is 0, yes. So the highest pixel goes to 0, and the 0 pixel goes to the, okay, right. I think this is correct. Save. Let's run it again. The fringe should be on top. Oh, exactly, beautiful. So that is correct anti-clockwise rotation. Now, if we wanted to do rotation clockwise, I'll show you that in a second. First, I want to check if Gaga also works, because it's a picture that is not square. This hero.jpg is a square picture, but Gaga is not. So let's run again, this time with Gaga. There we go. That's rotated version. Eyes look funny. And it's rotated anti-clockwise. Cool. So I've got a minute to show you the alternative. I'll just write it here. So it's, in fact, it's quite easy to see what to do. This is actually 90-degree rotated clockwise if we flip it horizontally. So if we just did the same that we did for the vertical flipping for the first coordinate, we should get the right rotation. So in this case, I'm going to say h minus y minus 1, and x can stay as it is. And let's just see if this works, if I'm correct. So let's run again with Gaga. And I think this is correct clockwise rotation. It's difficult to see with Gaga because there's no, we can't see the original, but let's do it for Bieber. There we go. So here is the original, and when we flip it clockwise, we rotate it clockwise, we get this. Very happy with this. Excellent. I think that's done.